Welcome to Limitless Talks with your girl, Sharelle Range. This is a space for bold conversations with leaders, entertainers, entrepreneurs, artists, and high achievers who are shaping culture and driving it forward. These are real stories, raw lessons, bold confessions. This is where we give language to the parts of the journey that must be first lived through in order to be shared in a way that inspires real growth. Our show features intimate, unfiltered conversations with those who are the most influential leaders in our culture right now. These are the voices shaping our culture while also creating impact and elevating without apology. Each episode will explore the philosophy behind their success, the mindset shifts, the risk, the lessons learned in real time, not just the highlight reel, but the truth behind all of their momentum and their success. This is not surface level inspiration. This is strategy, identity, resilience, and vision in motion. Today's guest is someone many of you already know, but today we're going deeper. This is Limitless Talks TV with your girl, the one and only Sharelle Range. Today's guest is someone you may have already heard of. You may have seen her on Selling Tampa, or maybe even her Netflix special Wags. She is the CEO and founder of Allure Realty, a multi-million-dollar real estate brokerage based in Tampa, Miami, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, and has now expanded into Ghana. You may know her from TV, but today it's about the true woman behind the brand. It's about the leadership behind her success and the truth behind all of the momentum in her influence. I want you guys to help me welcome my first guest, Sharelle Rosado. Sharelle, welcome to Limitless Talks.
I am glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. So how are you?
I am doing great. Running on probably like 6 hours of sleep, but I'm doing amazing.
Right? That is the life of being a mom and a founder and a CEO and a leader. How do you find the energy and the fuel to just continue to push through and show up?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get evicted. And I want, the bills have to get paid. So yeah, I can't stop. Yeah. I have goals and I set examples and I have people depending on me. So if I stop, I'm the engine. I can't, then everyone else stops. So yeah, gotta keep going.
I think that is the philosophy of true leadership, when you are focused on the success and the benefit of the whole entire team and not just yourself. Like, that really fuels you and pushes you to keep going. Yes. I feel the same way as a mom of three. Like, there are certain days I really just don't feel like doing it. And I look around and I see their faces and I'm like, well, we got to make something shake.
That's true.
We got to make it shake. All right, so let's get into it. So before the shows, the brokerage growth, and your increased visibility, what did you believe about success? What did you think success would look like and feel like for you?
A lot of people think success is based off wealth. That's a portion of it, but for me, it's what I did, influencing so many people. I feel like, that took me to another level. Me, being on national TV, leading and showing like little girls and people who look like me, people who look like you, people who look like, my peers, like, hey, I want to be like her. I want to do this when I grow up. That is success. Being able to carry a journey and people look up to you, lead.
I love that. So it's an example of what excellence can be,
Exactly.
An example of excellence. And it's not easy to show up as ourselves, because when we continue to show up, it increases scrutiny. When you are front and center and you're a public figure, I always tell my daughters, like, don't live for the applause because you'll die from the criticism. Ooh. So how have you learned to maintain a sense of self and agency in the public eye when we know that comes with so much scrutiny?
I had to come to the realization that you can't please everyone. My taste is different from your taste. I'm not here to, and it took a while to go through that, because at one point I was a people pleaser, but it drove me crazy. Like, I started not being myself. So once you come to realization that you can't please everyone and you're doing it for you, and what the vision is. Once you have that in your head, then you don't have to worry about the outsiders.
We talked about people pleasing a lot and how that impacts a leader, because a leader, as a visionary, we do want to see our whole entire team win.
Right.
But as leaders, we also have to be the driving force behind that overall vision. Would you say that people pleasing was like was a little bit detrimental as you were navigating leadership?
Definitely. Because you're not leading you're not leading to see your vision. You're leading for other people. If they want their vision to succeed, they need to become a leader and create their own lane. And that's what I had to realize. You can't do things for what other people want. You have to you have a vision. You have to do what you set to, whatever you had set to do, you have to do it on your own and not focus on making everyone else happy.
Yeah. Because I think when you do that, you spread yourself too thin and you become so fragmented.
Yes.
And we know that the most effective and impactful leader is a whole leader.
That's
and we
true.
talked about wholeness and being able to pull ourselves back into that space to lead with authority, with upright character and integrity. You said something earlier that really stands out to me. You talked about creating your own lane. And we've seen you do that through your various Netflix shows with Selling Tampa and WAG. So talk to me a little bit about how those came about and how you were able to carve your own lane, bridging the gap between media and real estate.
It's crazy. Selling Tampa was not planned. My goal was not to be on TV. My goal was to, I was in the military and luxury real estate for minorities. Like you barely saw it. I mean, we were out there selling homes, but I saw people in that lane, and I was like, I want to sell luxury real estate, and there was no blueprint. It was all about who you know. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to do something. I'm about to create my brokerage, and I'm gonna focus on luxury real estate. And that's what I did. I opened up a brokerage. I hired some young females who basically looked up to me in the industry. Either I helped them get into real estate or they looked up to me. They were like, you're killing it. So I brought on 8 females, and I was like, this is what we're going to do. This is the standard. This is how we need to dress. We're going to do a photo shoot. Basically created a whole SOP from the military and was like, this is the guideline. This is how we're going to get into luxury. And my first thing was marketing. Shout out to my sis, Kiana Watson, because she's the queen of marketing. And I took a lot of her notes. And we just started marketing, putting ourselves out there. Clients started coming, and we caught the eyes of what do you call them?
Like
Producers. Yes, we caught the eyes of producers, and I just was like, okay, I'm ready. Didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I opened my company up in August of 2019. They reached out the end of December of 2019. No, they reached out March of 2020. Wow. And it just was up from there.
That's incredible.
It was during COVID.
That's what I'm saying, though. So it's just like creativity in a crisis, right? It was a time when the rest of the world was shut down, but you had an inspired idea and you took action on it, right? How would you say you've been able to, or what has inspired you to continue to put the pieces together without a blueprint, right? Because I think that's what makes a true visionary, just to have an idea and to go forward and to kind of build it as you're going.
I don't know. I'm not a overthinker. I feel like when you overthink, you contemplate on things that were you just dwell on it too much. So I try not to overthink. When something comes to mind, I pray on it, and then I just go after it. So that was my thing, and I feel like that's how I became so successful, because it's like, if you don't try, I don't want to live the life, dang, I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah. And you don't know what could have happened if you didn't, go after it. So yeah. And if you fall, get back up and go and do it again. You'll know what not to do the next time.
Ooh, that's so good. That's resilience. And you know what it is? It's also just having faith to get to the finish line. Right. Because so many people think that success is measured just by getting to the finish line or just by the reward. But a lot of times it's just about execution, getting to the finish line, and then being able to look back and say, okay, now this is what we can improve upon. This is what we can do better. But so many people fail because they are too afraid to fail. They're too afraid to start. Exactly. Real leaders get it done, make it happen, look back, make it better, move forward and do it again and do it better.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people. Don't be afraid. we both have the same 24 hours. It's how you utilize those 24 hours. You think these multimillionaires and billionaires just woke up one day and had all this money in their account?
Yeah.
No, they failed several times, probably went bankrupt several times, and they kept going. They didn't give up.
Yeah.
So that's how I live. Like I keep on going because I know I know the talent I have. I know what I can provide, and it's just, you got to figure out a better way to do it.
That is so beautiful. So it's almost like failure becomes a catalyst. Like failure pushes you to your next success.
Yes.
How would you say that has played out for you on your journey?
It taught me a lot of things. The crowd who I hang around. You know, when you fail on things, reality hits. You start to look at things different. You start to because when you're winning, you're not paying attention to who's around you, whatever. You can have like snakes, you can have your enemies. You ain't paying attention because you're winning. But when you fail, it opens your eyes, and it actually, it makes you realize what I did wrong, who was there helping me, who was not there, who's there right now. Because when you fail, you realize who is really for you.
Right.
Those people are going to stick beside you even when you're down. So it actually opened my eyes to who my real friends were, who were there, who really supported me, who was not there for the clout. So I'm truly grateful for my failures.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of those, because I always believe that failure is success turned inside out, right? So what we perceive as failure is usually just a catalyst for our next big move.
Right.
But when you look back over your career, whether it was in media with selling Tampa or Wags, or even with your real estate brokerage, what would you say have been some of those things that looked like failure but turned out to be a catalyst for success? Because even if it reframed the way you do things, even if it changed your perspective as a leader, or whatever it has done, it had made you better. So think back and talk to me about something that may have looked like a failure to the outside world, but internally it was making you better.
I probably would say the main thing was my affiliation with certain people, with friends. Of course, dang, she's losing all these people, she's losing all these friends, but it may look like failure, but it was actually doing me a favor.
Yeah. What does that loss feel like?
It hurts, but you can't question it. You can't dwell on it. It makes you open up and see who you really are, even with my faults, because I feel like, I'm not a perfect person, but being around certain people, you don't see what you're doing wrong as a person. So I was able to internally look at myself and evaluate myself.
Let's go deeper on that, because that's so good, because we talked about influence and proximity to success and who we have next to us, right? We want our most intimate relationships. They should mirror us.
Right.
But when you're so close, sometimes you are in the frame that you can't see the picture.
Exactly.
So when you talk about being next to certain people and not being able to see yourself, what would you say once you got a better scope? Like, what did you see that you didn't like, that you knew that you wanted to change?
I felt like I started picking up behaviors that they were doing. I wasn't being myself. I started focusing more on people pleasing, doing things that they like to do. And whatever you're around, that's what you pick up. Yeah. So I felt like I did start picking up some negative behaviors, and not focusing on work, not focusing on what I built. It was a lot. So just pulling those people away from me, really.
Because that's not something we talk about often, right? We talk about being an influencer, but we don't always talk about how the influencer can also be influenced. And as you are positioning yourself for that greater impact, is so wise. And we learn this on the way, right? It's so wise to then be very mindful of who is next to us, because we are all always subjected to influence as well.
Exactly.
So looking back, is there anything that you would do differently?
Honestly, it's easy to say, yes, I would have did it different. Of course, I would have did things different, but I'm grateful that I went through it, because I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But just evaluating who I'm around, paying close attention to who I surround myself with, and if I'm going to be a leader, lead by example. Yeah.
And you know what, real leaders, this is also a demonstration of true leadership. How do you get back up? Because we love to see winners shining and winning. But what happens when our leaders fall? right? I think there's something to be said about being able to witness our leaders get back up.
Right.
Right? So how would you say you're getting back up in this season? Because I know some of the headlines, they had to be so hard to read. They said you were a mean girl, you were this, you were that. What did it feel like seeing those headlines come across your screen?
You gotta have thick skin to do reality TV, first of all. I know deep down I'm not a mean girl, but of course I can't. Millions and millions of people in the world who have, you know, those type of opinions, and I can't go and basically, you know, express that to everyone. I just have to show by example and just show who I really am to the people that matter.
I love that, because it's one thing, we know that media, this is entertainment.
Yes.
You know, so I think it's a blessing for people who get a chance to meet you in person, because you've been absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You know, and I look forward to your continued success as you begin to show people like the real, you know, unedited, unscripted. They're not producing it for a particular outcome, but just the raw Sharelle. So what would you say that people should know about you that they may have gotten the wrong idea about through the various shows?
I am a girl's girl.
You are a girl's girl.
I'm not a gatekeeper. I am, you know, I love to see people win.
Yeah.
And I would give the shirt off my back to make sure that, you know, I'm bringing the whole crew with me. And yeah.
I can attest to that. I can attest to that. And I think people that know you in real life, they can attest to that. And sometimes, you know, my grandmother told me this. She was like, you can be the best peach, the sweetest peach from the most beautiful tree, but some people just don't like peaches, and you just have to learn to reconcile that. You may not be everybody's peach. Some people may prefer oranges.
That's
you know?
true.
So I want to talk now about your book. I'm so excited. Listen, I love when authentic stories get to hit print, because there's something about being able to touch a book, peel the pages back, and see yourself in someone else's story or be inspired by someone else's story. So your life has been just this testament of what it means to be an influencer or to have influence, even when that's not the thing that you set out to do.
Right.
Like, did you just wake up one day and say, I want to be a leader? You just kind of, it just kind of falls. You take bold steps. God orders your steps. You're bold enough to move your feet, and then one day you look up and you got all these people watching you. Like, how do you manage that?
I don't know how I managed it. Sometimes I wake up like, why can't I just be in this quiet little world? Why? But you know what? It's a blessing. I just tune it out. I don't carry myself as a celebrity. I don't carry myself as if I'm above someone. I just, you know, I just live my life like a normal person and just tune it out, because of course I'm in public eyes. I just can't, if I focus on the negativity, then I'm not winning.
Yeah,
So.
you got to focus on the win, focus on the goal. So your book is The Pain and Power of Influence. Oh, that's going to be so good.
It is.
What inspired you to write this?
Going through what I went through, I feel like people don't understand the pain that you go through to being, an influential person. So I just want people to understand, people who are not in that limelight, like everything that glitz isn't gold.
Yeah.
You go through your ups, you go through your downs. We're normal just like you are. And just give them a walk into what I've been through, and maybe I can help empower someone who's dealing with something like this.
I believe you're going to empower so many people, people who aspire to be in leadership positions and people who are already influential, who may not have even asked for it. They just showed up and they were living their lives in full color, and they looked up and so many people were watching them. Because sometimes influence is not the thing that we chase, it's just who we are, and it's what comes with the territory. I do believe that as someone who has a certain level of influence, we are held to a higher standard. And there are certain expectations, right? People want to see, how do we manage conflicts? How do we manage crises? How do we manage failure? How do we manage heartbreak? Let's talk about the heartbreak part, because you have to do that in the public eye. And you had a very public relationship with Chad Ochocinco, and then the fallout of that engagement. What was it like to have to live that out in full color?
It's hard. Sometimes I still deal with it today because, people love Chad. He's an amazing father, amazing guy. But, he has fans and they gonna ride for him. So just dealing and trying to fight back, they have to understand, like, we have a child together. So stop trying to come for me.
Yeah.
Like, just, we went our separate ways. It's not a competition.
You guys are still family.
Yeah, we're still family at the end of the day. So I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, you have to just tune out the crazy people that just try to, I can't say that word. You have to tune out the people that try to come for you in a negative way. Yeah. But, and that's what I'm learning. I'm not perfect. I'm learning because sometimes I get active and start tweeting and be like, we be going back and forth and I'm like, let me stop. Like, you too grown for this.
But you know what I love? We recently did our fast together. It was the most beautiful, transformative 3 days. I was so hungry, but we got through it.
Yes.
But one of the things that we were fasting about, and one of the outcomes was learning to respond well. Yes. And I think that's so critical because our default setting, I know for me, my default setting is still nuck if you buck. Like,
right,
I'm still
exactly.
From don't get it twisted, right?
Right.
But when you are in a position of influence, you do have to be mindful of how you respond. And so learning to respond well, and that's not even in just what we say, but how we show up, how we handle it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just so thrilled, and I appreciate you coming on and being authentic and transparent. I can attest that she is a girl's girl because she shows up, and I've had just the most amazing time getting to know you and being inspired by your journey. I would say one of the things I love the most about you is, like myself, you're not afraid to get out there and try. No. You'll take an idea, and we're sitting here today on this set because I had a bright idea. And I decided
it happen.
I decided to go for it, and I think it takes an incredible leader to learn how to build as they climb, because you're not going to always have it all figured out
at all.
But while others are sitting there overthinking and preparing for perfection, we get in the field. And we make it happen, and we learn along the way.
And that's what people should know. If you're contemplating on something, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
So what's next? I know you're heading out to Africa.
So I'm going to Doha. I'm speaking at a women's event. It's going to be huge. And then I will be going to Ghana. We have some projects that we're selling. And then I'll be back here in the States.
I love it. So with your brokerage, are you guys now accepting any new realtors?
We are, but I want agents that if we do take on new agents, they have to be willing to learn. My biggest thing, I hate when agents come on and say, are y'all giving away leads?
Giving away leads?
Are y'all giving leads? So no, this is your business. So I want you to learn how to grind, even if they're not leads being given. So that's my biggest thing. But yes, we are hiring.
What's an ideal partner for you right now? Because I know that you manage a lot of deals. You negotiated and worked your deals with Netflix and your brokerage, and you
partner as far as dating.
Just partnerships, period. Like, how do you navigate partnerships, whether it's in business and dating? We can talk about dating. We can get into dating too.
That's what I thought you was talking about.
Let's talk about it. Are you dating right now?
I am.
Ooh, how's it going?
It's amazing.
I love it.
I can't complain. You see the smile on my face?
I see the smile on your face. I see the glow. I love it.
Yes, I am.
I need some tips on dating.
You just have to let it flow. Honestly, I don't go looking for it. It just comes, and I just be living my best life, and I'll be like, okay, I guess I get to know this person, and then they come out amazing, and it's been an amazing journey.
I love it. I think I got to be more willing to meet more people. Right now, I've just been so focused, but I don't know. Maybe in the near future, I may be open to.
You got to, Sierra. It's okay to date while you building your empire.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you up on that.
Yes.
I'm gonna take you up on
Maybe
that.
I have to take you on one of my trips.
Take me on a trip. I am so ready. Take me on a trip. We could be closing deals and managing all types of partnerships.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure. I wish you massive success on your journey. I wish you just massive happiness in all of your endeavors. And thank you so much for joining us on Limitless Talks with your girl, Sierra Rainge.
I love it, Sierra.